Good morning students. Today we will study Kirchhoff rules and then apply these rules to analyze the complex circuits. So the objectives are to understand the Kirchhoff rules and to apply Kirchhoff rules to analyze the circuit. So these are the objectives. Let us consider a simple circuit. Here we have 2 ohm resistance and 4 ohm resistance. These two resistances are in a series, and here 6 volt battery is here. Now what is the resultant resistance? Resultant resistance is 2 ohm plus 4 ohm. 6 ohm resistance is there in the circuit, and voltage is 6 volt. Now we apply the Ohm's law. V is equal to IR. So I is equal to voltage over resistance. So voltage here is 6 volt and resistance is 6 ohm. So we have current of 1 ampere. Now here current flowing is 1 ampere. Now we can easily calculate the potential drop across this 2 ohm resistance. Here current is 1 ampere and resistance is 2 ohm. So here potential drop is 2 volt. Similarly here we can also calculate the potential drop. Current is 1 ampere and here resistance is 4 ohm. So voltage drop is 4 volt. So here you see 2 volt and 4 volt, 6 volt, and this is 6 volts. So it is very easy to analyze these types of circuit using Ohm's law. Now let us consider this type of circuit. Here 2 ohm and 2 ohm resistance, these two resistances are not in a series. Also here 4 ohm and 2 ohm resistance, these two are not in parallel. So it is difficult to analyze these type of a complex circuit. So to overcome this problem we apply Kirchhoff rules, and there are two Kirchhoff rules, and the first Kirchhoff rule is called the junction rule. Now the junction rule is, at any junction the sum of current entering in the junction is equal to the sum of current leaving the junction. Now let us consider this here network. Here first of all I tell you what is the meaning of a junction. Junction is a point where 3 or more than 3 conductors meet. Suppose here 2 ampere current is coming and here 4 ampere current is coming. So here the sum of current entering in the junction is 2 ampere and 4 ampere, that is 6 ampere. It means same amount of current will come out from this junction. So here we get 6 ampere current. So it means sum of current entering in the junction is equal to the sum of current leaving the junction. Now let us consider the another example. Here we have say here 2 ampere current is coming and here 4 ampere current is coming. Here it is coming out 1 ampere current. Now question is here, what is the amount coming out from this side? Now we know that sum of current entering in the junction is here 2 ampere 4 ampere is equal to the sum of current leaving the junction 1 ampere plus I. Now here we get I is equal to 5 ampere. So it means here 5 ampere current will come from this side. So this is the junction rule. We can also write like this: sum of current entering at the junction is equal to 0. That means entering in the junction and coming out of the junction is equal to 0. So this is the junction rule. Now the second rule is loop rule. Now this rule states that the algebraic sum of changes in potential around any closed loop involving resistors and cell in the loop is 0. Now you see, let us consider this circuit. Here we say this is a 10 volt, this is a 2 ohm resistance, say this is a 4 ohm resistance. Here point A is there, B, C and here D. Now if we start from A and go through this side, A to B, then B to C, then C to D and D to A, we come back at point A. The change in potential is 0. Say potential at A minus potential at A is equal to 0, or we can simply say that change in potential in the closed loop is equal to 0. So this is the second rule. Now how to apply these rules to analyze the circuit? Now first point is, draw the current from one or more cells. Now what is its meaning? Let us consider this circuit. Here you see A, B, C, D, E and F. Here we have cell of 10 volt and cell of 5 volt. Now we assume that current coming out of this cell is I. Say I current is coming, and this current will flow through this, and here we have I current. Yes, here B is the junction, so it divides the current into two parts. Suppose here current flowing is I1 and this side current flowing will be I minus I1. Now this I1 go through this side after flowing through this, and here current flowing in this side is I1, and here the current flowing is I minus I1 through 4 ohm resistance. Here again there is a junction, so when this current and this current combine, we get the current I. So I amount of current will go inside it. So I current is coming out and I is entering in the cell. So this so it means whenever we draw the current, we can draw current from this cell, or we can also draw current from this cell also, or we can also draw current from both these cells. Now next is choose the closed loop or loops. Now we have two variables here, I and I1. So to get this we need two equations. So we choose two closed loop. Say we choose one closed loop A, B, E, F and A. A, B, E, F, A. This is the first loop we take, and second loop we take B, C, D, E, B. This is the second loop. Now direction of loop. Now we can go from A to B, B to E, E to F and F to A, or here we can say it is a clockwise. We can also move in anti-clockwise direction. Similarly in this loop also we can move in clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. Now next point is, fourth point is potential drop or potential gain. How to get the potential drop or potential gain? Now if we are going from high potential to low potential, we say there is a decrease in a potential. Remember this point, high potential to low potential, it means decrease in a potential. And if we go from low potential to high potential, it means we take change in potential as a positive. Now I give you example. Here we have a cell and its voltage is 10 volt. Now if we are moving in this side, then we are going from high potential to low potential. It means we are going from high potential to low potential. So we take voltage as a negative 10 volt. Now if we take like this cell like this, say it is 5 volt, we are going in this direction. Here we are going from low potential to high potential, so we take change in potential as 5 volt plus 5 volt. Now if we have resistance in the wire and current is flowing in this direction and we are also moving in this direction, so say its resistance is R. Now current is flowing in this direction, so it means we are going from high potential to low potential. When we go from high potential to low potential, it means we take the change in voltage minus, so voltage is resistance into current, it is minus IR. Now if we, this is the resistance, say it is R, and current is flowing from this side and we are moving in this side, then here we are going from low potential to high potential. As we know that current always flow from high potential to low potential, so we are going from low potential to high potential. So when we go from low potential to high potential, so we take change in potential positive, so we here take change in potential positive, that is IR. Now here using these rules we will solve this example, and this example is determine the current in the each branch of the network shown. This is the network. Here you see point A is here, B, E, D and C. Now first of all we see the current. So we take current from this 10 volt battery here, or we can say cell. Here we take I1 current is coming out. Here there is a junction, so it divided into two parts. Say I2 is flowing in this direction and the rest I1 minus I2 flowing in this direction. Now this current I2 go in this side. Here I3 current is coming from this side, so I2 plus I3 current flow through this 2 ohm resistance. At this point C, here it goes, I1 goes this side and here I2 plus I3 minus I1 flows through this 2 ohm resistance, it meet at D. Now here I1 minus I2 is coming, here I2 plus I3 minus I1 is coming, so we get, you see here I1 minus I2 plus I2 plus I3 minus I1. You see here minus I1 plus I1 minus I2 plus I2. So it means here current is flowing, I3 current is flowing. So we apply the Kirchhoff rules. Here we have three variables, say I2, I1, I3. So I1, I2, I3, we have three variables, so we require three equations to solve this type of a circuit. So to get the three equations, we take three loops, and first loop we will take A, C, D, A, and second loop we take A, B, C, A, and third loop we take D, C, B, E, D. So we apply Kirchhoff's second rule for the closed loop ACDA. See this ACDA. Now in this loop we move clockwise direction. So if we go from clockwise direction, we start from A. Now when we start from A, here we are going from high potential to low potential. So when we go from high potential to low potential, then we take change in potential negative. So here we take minus 10. and here 1 ohm resistance is there. Here we are going from high potential to the low potential. So high potential to the low potential, we take it negative. So here we get minus I1. Now then we go at this junction C and we are moving in this direction. Here we are going from high potential to the low potential, and when we go from high potential to the low potential, then we take it negative. So here minus 2 I2 plus I3 minus I1. Here you see we are going from high potential, low potential to the high potential here. So here this is plus I1 because we are going from low potential to the high potential, and we go from low potential to the high potential, we get positive sign. So here we get positive plus I1 minus 2 I2 plus I3 minus I1. Now then we go from this side. Here we are going from the low potential to the high potential. When we go from the low potential to the high potential, we get positive sign. So here we get 4 I1 minus I2 is equal to 0. Right. Now rearranging these, we get 7 I1 minus 6 I2 minus 2 I3 is equal to 10. We name this equation 1. Now next we apply Kirchhoff's second rule for the closed loop ABCA. Now here we see ABCA. Now we go from this side A to B, B to C, C to D, and we move clockwise direction. Now when we go from A to B, it means we are going from high potential to low potential. When we move from high potential to low potential, we get negative. So here we get minus 4 I2, and here then we are going from high potential to the low potential. So we get here minus 2 I2 plus I3, and here then we go from C to A. When we go from C to A, we are going from the high potential to the low potential. When we go from high potential to the low potential, then we get negative. So here I get I1, and the last is we are going from negative side to the positive side. When we go from the negative to the positive side, it means we are going from the low potential to the high potential. So we take here 10 volt. So here we get here 10 volt is equal to 0. Now rearranging this, we get I1 plus 6 I2 plus 2 I3 is equal to 10. We name this equation second. Now we apply the Kirchhoff's second rule for the closed loop D, C, B, E, D. Now here D, C, B, E, D. Again we move in the clockwise direction. Now when we start from this D, here we are going from low potential to the high potential. When we move from low potential to the high potential, so it means we take potential positive. So we get here 2 I2 plus I3 minus I1. Now next we move from C to D. Here we are again going from low potential to the high potential. So again we get here 2 I2 plus I3. Now the next is we go here, we are going from the high potential to the low potential. When we go from high to the low potential, then we take a change in potential negative. So here we get minus 5 is equal to 0. Now rearranging these terms, and we get 2 I1 minus 4 I2 minus 4 I3 is equal to minus 5. This is the third equation. So we have three variables and we have three equations. First equation, second equation, and here we get the third equation. Now solving these equations, we get I1 5 by 2 ampere, I2 5 by 8 ampere, I3 15 over 8 ampere. But our question is, we are to find the current in each branch. Here each branch means we are to find the current in this branch, AB branch. In this branch current flowing is I2. We are to find the current in this branch BE. We are to find the current in this branch BC, and we are to find the current CD branch. Now here you see in branch AB current is flowing I2. So here we have I2 is 5 by 8 ampere. So it means 5 by 8 ampere is flowing through this branch. Now we find the current in branch CA. Now CA, you see here, C is here CA branch current flowing is I1, and here you see I1 current is 5 by 2 ampere. Here again we get current CA 5 by 2 ampere. Next we find the current in branch DEB. Now here you see we have DEB. Here current flowing is I3. So simply we get here 15 over 8 ampere. So DEB current flowing is 50 over 8 ampere. Now next is we are to find the current in branch AD. Now here we see AD branch is this AD branch. Here current flowing is I1 minus I2. So we subtract I2 from I1. So it means we are to subtract I2 from I1. When we subtract these two, we get 15 over 8 ampere. Similarly, in the branch CD, we have I2 plus I3 minus I1. And when we put the value of I2 here, I3 here, and then I1 here, we get the 0 ampere current. And the last branch is BC. And here this branch current flowing is I2 plus I3. We add I2 plus I3, and if we add, we get 5 by 2 ampere current flowing through this branch. So from here we see that we can find the current in each branch using the Kirchhoff rules. So this type of network is called the complex network. To solve these complex network, we always use Kirchhoff's rules. And remember this thing that while applying Kirchhoff rule, we take loops. We can move in this loop clockwise direction or in anti-clockwise direction. We get the same result. Suppose if we go in this clockwise direction, in this loop clockwise direction, and in this loop we move in the anti-clockwise direction, again we get the same answer.